Hello everybody, welcome back. Thanks for everybody that watched the previous video about hornbeam, and thanks for all the comments that were put on there. Some useful information was in the comments, things that I'd never thought about before. I'm not going to talk about hornbeam anymore, or am I? Other than to say, I think the problem is that the soil that the hornbeam is in is too wet. It's holding too much moisture. I've checked it again today. We've had lots of rain over the past 2 weeks, and the soil, it's not damp, it's not moist, it is actually wet. I don't know. Let's draw a line under hornbeam, and we'll talk about some other things. So what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 melons, 2 chilies, and there are 2 pepper plants in the corner that the neighbours gave me. I don't know what type they are, but yeah, gratefully received. So everything's doing great in there. Top shelf, bottom shelf. We got 2 more melons in there, 3 more chilies. What's that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 chilies there. The labels are in there. I think it says at the back there, Chili Gusto something. And this one says, yeah, let's have a look. This says Chili Reggae. So these are Chili Reggae and a Chili Gusto. We've got to have a look at my purple. Yeah, so here we have the tomatoes. They're looking all right, aren't they? Looking impressive, aren't they? Yeah, I think they're all right. You think they're all right as well, don't you? They're doing well. Let me give you a close-up on these, and I'll show you the weave I've had done. So there you go. There are tomatoes in there, and I've actually spotted a label. It's the Ailsa Craig tomatoes, these are. And because I had some space at the front, I put in the spring onions that were growing in the bed greenhouse. But can you see my weave? There you go. A bit of string that runs across there. I think it's called the Florida weave, a way of supporting the tomatoes. But I'm not too keen on it, and I will show you why. Well, you can probably see it there. Hopefully this is going to show up, but there, see the plant moves in the wind and it rubs against the string. I don't know if I've done this properly, but I'm thinking I'm going to have to change this because it's going to get infections in it. We'll probably change that so that it doesn't start cutting into the plant in the wind. Let's move across to the others. Here we go. Look at these. These are enormous, aren't they? These are doing really, really well. And again, we've got a bit of a weave going on. And yeah, it's going to start cutting into the plants, isn't it? Change of plan with these. And of course, we have the label in there, don't we? Of course, we don't. The label has, well, yeah. So I want to show you the tomatoes that are growing in with the hedging plants that begin with H. The white plants you can see there are jasmine. And I know I've mentioned in a previous video, these flowers smell like chewing gum. Absolutely a beautiful smell comes from these. Get yourself some if I were you. They are really nice. But talking about tomatoes, they're looking pretty good as well. There's a label right at the end, facing the wrong way, so I can't tell you what they are. And again, I've done the weave here on this. There you go, weave it. I don't know whether I've weaved it correctly or not. As I said, I'm not too keen on it because it does mean the plants rub up against it. But I really wanted to show you this tomato plant here. Look at the stem on that. It's absolutely enormous. If you look at the one next to it, this is a monster. And it's got some flowers forming on it, as have the others. So hopefully these will do well. But jasmine, it's a beautiful smell. Bubblegum smell. Beautiful. Here we go. And those potatoes I put in there, I had 3 potatoes that I found in the vegetable rack that were starting to grow. So I'll put them in there. That's looking really well. I've earthed it up 3 times. That's to the top now, that'll be left alone. Then we have the sweet corn. I'll give you a close-up on this sweet corn because it's starting to put on, what's it called? Ears? Things. It's putting on things, but it's still very short. So let me give you a close-up. Here they are. Those 3 potatoes in there from the supermarket, starting growing in the veg rack. As I said, I have earthed them up, so that's full to the top. So we shall leave that alone. Nice and green, isn't it? It's really, really healthy. Let's have a look at the corn. There are some bits of cardboard in here. I chucked some in there just for it to rot down. And there is a label. We have a label. What's it called? What's that label say? That label actually says spring, which means it's spring onions. These aren't spring onions, are they? Are they? Of course they're not. And there you go. It's putting on a thing. There's a thing there, and there's a thing there. So we have things in the corn. But when those things form on the corn's normally up there, isn't it? It's normally about, what, 5 foot tall if we have those things on them. Yeah, at least they're growing. And they're looking healthy as well, aren't they? Good stuff. And what we have here are sunflower seeds that I sown, and they were in the bed greenhouse. These need to go in the ground now. They're getting really big. I don't know how big they get these, but we shall find out when they start growing in the garden. Now then, where am I going to put those sunflowers? I was thinking of putting them along here, so that if they get really tall, at least I've got something to secure them to. This is a bit of it's a nice area. We've got some nice foxgloves here. It's an area that I'm letting go wild, so we can see what starts to grow here. We've got some hydrangeas that I put in. But yeah, I think I'm going to put them along here. And as I say, they get too tall, secure them to this. So now I'm going to try and put those sunflower plants in here. I thought I'd show you the type of soil that I have to deal with in this garden. I haven't dug this. All I've done is pull out some weeds. Hopefully you're going to be able to see stuff. First of all, stones. You can hear that. Another stone. It's like a slate. That's what's in this natural soil in this garden. So we'll try and dig a hole. And there you go. This is about what you get in here. This is why I don't plant directly. Oh, why I don't plant directly, excuse me, into the soil. There's a lot of roots here because there are some plants next door. But this, and that's what I'm pulling out: stones and slate. There's another slate there. You see, this is the type of soil that we've got down here. You can see all that slate coming out of there now. Look at that. Good for drainage, but not good for anything else. So I'm going to dig some holes, put the sunflowers in along here, and then hope for the best. But while we're here, they look good. They're just growing wild in this wild corner. Very nice. So I've put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sunflowers in this area, but let me just show you the problem I'm having now. It's the soil. The soil is incredibly hard here. Look at this. I mean, it's dry. Stone, 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 stone. It is. You can see the stones there. What was that? Stone, stones. It is bone dry, rock hard, and you can see what's in the soil. It's just stones. So I'm not going to put any more along here. I'm going to find somewhere else for them. It's just getting too hard, the soil. Even with the spade, I had to make that hole with the spade rather than the trowel. And that's as far as I've got into the soil. Well, I'll say soil. So my dilemma now is, where am I going to put those other 4 sunflowers? The sun comes from there, goes around there, and then along there. And obviously sunflowers face the sun. Oh yeah, that's the camera tripod, of course. So where am I going to put them? I'm a bit lost because they're going to need supporting, and the wind blows from the cameras right there. And if they're exposed or not supported, they're going to end up uh, over there somewhere. Over there. Let me just show you something over there while I'm rambling on. Foxgloves are nice, aren't they? And just in front of the pallet, guess what that is? Yes, it's hornbeam, and it's surviving in the natural soil of this garden. But we're not talking about hornbeam. We're talking about where I'm going to put these sunflowers. Um, oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to come up with something, aren't I? By the side of the fence, so I can support them, tie them to the fence, but then they're going to be facing the sun. I don't know. Make a decision. Get on with it. Put those 4 remaining sunflowers. I'll put them in pots by the shed, and at least I can secure them to the shed when they get big. That is always messy around there. Somebody comes into this garden when I'm not here and kicks up a hell of a mess here. I don't know what they're doing. I'll catch them one day. There you go. Let's see how they do. So we have 3 pots, grow bag, and 3 spuds. These were also found in the vegetable rack. I don't know how I missed them, but we're going to make use of them. They're going to go in here. I'm only putting 1 in each one because these are big old boys, aren't they? 1 in each, and hopefully they'll turn out like the other one has that's just behind you. So let's get some dirt in this, get these boys in. Okay, let's get some of this, what's it called? Godwin's grow bag. Get some of this soil in the container. So, it's got a whiff to it. Yeah, anyway, let's get some of this soil in there. Make sure you break it up a bit. Let's get this broken up. Actually, it has got actually this has got a whiff to it, as though this is manure rather than grow bag soil. It does say it's for cucumbers, tomatoes, and the like. And if you can see, there's some moisture in it as well, which, based on what's happening with the hornbeam, which I said I wasn't going to mention again, we don't want moisture in this stuff, do we? This does look a bit wet, but what am I going to do? What am I going to do with this to dry it out? Then put it in the tumble dryer? Nah. I think that's enough. I've no idea. Spud. Let's put the fellow in that way. I know there is talk that you have to knock some of these off, but I'm not going to. He's going in like that. We'll cover him up, and then I'll do the others. And I'm sure you've seen people put dirt into a bucket before, so let's not bore you with all that, shall we? Cover that one up, do those 2, we're done. There you go, final 2 in, just get those 2 covered up, and we'll move on to something else. What we're looking at here is some comfrey. It's just indestructible, this stuff is. The pot's too small. I'm going to put it into this one. If any part of this ends up on the garden, it will start to grow. I had an allotment a long time ago, and there was a huge bush of this growing. It was massive, and I decided to try and dig it out. And that was a massive mistake, because you try and dig it out, you chop the roots up, and every little bit of root that's left in the ground turns into more comfrey. It was just a nightmare. So I went from one enormous plant to lots of little plants that then grew into massive plants. So I don't want any of this on the garden. So let's hope this is a success. There you go. Comfrey's in a new pot next to the tomatoes and those spring onions. I think we know that comfrey attracts a lot of pollinators, so that'll be lovely next to those. Thank you for watching, guys. I've done everything that I needed to do today. I've run around as fast as I can to get this done so that this doesn't go on for hours and hours and hours and you guys go and do something, was it less interesting instead? Was that from Why Don't You, was that phrase? Why don't you go and turn off your television set and go and do something less boring instead? Remember that? Remember that? I think I got it right. Anyway, waffling on about nothing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the comments. Much appreciated. Take good care of yourselves. All the best. Till the next one. Bye bye.